She tried to reason with me, saying she just needed a place to stay for a few months so that she could save up and find something more permanent for herself and the kids. I shook my head and told her firmly that I couldn't allow that. I reminded her that she was on her own now, that it wasn't my job or my husband's job to take care of her. I made it clear that she had burned this bridge the moment she disrespected the very man who had done so much to help her over the years. I also pointed out how she never even bothered to apologize for the awful things she said about my husband. She had months to make things right, yet she chose to ignore us, until, of course, she needed something. Now, suddenly, she was standing at our doorstep expecting us to open our home to her as if nothing had happened. The audacity of it all was infuriating. She tried to argue, tried to make excuses, but I wasn't having it. My decision was final. She needed to figure things out without us, just like she had claimed she could. I didn't want to argue anymore, especially not in front of her kids, so without another word, I closed the door on her. She stood outside yelling at me, saying things like I was cruel and heartless and a terrible sister, but I didn't budge. I could hear her kids sniffling in the background, and while that part hurt me, I knew I had made the right choice. In the end, she had no choice but to leave. She ended up going to my parents' place, where she's staying for now. My father, from what I've heard, is incredibly disappointed in her. He sees right through her excuses and knows exactly why she's in this situation. But at the same time, he and my mom have agreed to let her stay temporarily, mostly for the sake of the kids. Update 4. It's been a while since my last update, and I thought things had finally settled down after my sister went to stay with my parents. But I was wrong. Yesterday, while I was at work, she showed up at our house completely unannounced, and completely drunk. My husband told me later that it started with loud banging on the door. At first, he thought it was a delivery or maybe a neighbor, but then he heard her yelling, screaming his name, demanding he open the door. When he finally did, she shoved her way inside, looking disheveled and angry. Right away, she started blaming him for everything. She accused him of destroying our relationship, saying that if it weren't for him, I never would have cut her off. She went on a rant about how he had brainwashed me against my own family and how he was nothing but a pathetic excuse for a man. My husband, being the calm and rational person he is, tried to de-escalate the situation. He told her to sit down, take a deep breath, to just calm down. But that's when he realized something was really off. She was slurring her words, swaying on her feet, she was clearly drunk. So instead of engaging with her, he reached for his phone and called my mom. I, of course, was at work when this all went down, so I had no idea.